initial takeaways starting off just from today?
Yeah, we started off good. We came out with a lot of energy, positive energy. We knew the game wasn't going to be easy. We made a lot of mistakes late in the second half, but it was a lot of reasons that we lost this game. It was little details, it's not the turnovers or people think that they are, but yeah.
They finished with, I believe, 15 or 16 offensive rebounds. I know that's something Coach Jans and the staff really going to pride you guys on doing the top percent of that.
Yeah, the coaching staff did a great job telling us they were a team that offensive rebounds very good, and we did it every day during practice. We just had to learn from this experience and get the scout into the game.
You personally, it felt like the past couple of games you had hit a little bit of a freshman ball, scored 13 points today.
What'd you say?
Just what felt different for you personally, scoring 13 points?
It was just another game. First SEC game. I'm getting used to it. It was very fun though. It was very fun.
You guys as a team have lost both of your true road games this year. What do you feel like it's not being, translated away from the hump? When you play in these tough environments.
We just got to come together, and that's our team right there. We don't have the fan base, or we just have each other. It's us versus them, and I feel like once we figure that out, we'll be good.
Chris, you guys are now 0-2 in these true road games. What do you feel like is just not translating in these tough environments here in Georgia Tech?
Oh gosh, two completely different games on why it didn't go in our favor. I'm not sure if it's necessarily the fact that we lost both road games that we played in, although the Seton Hall game was a road game, other than how they define it. Just different games, same result, but I don't think there was one thing that I could say that it was an issue for both particular games.
We'll go front row to coaches, right?
Chris, Mississippi State was able to beat this Carolina team twice last year. What is the biggest difference you've noticed, or some of the differences you've noticed with South Carolina, today versus last year?
Well, not necessarily just today. I mean, in film prep, scout prep, obviously they're a better basketball team this year than they were last year. They did a really nice job in their recruiting efforts, both in retaining, the kids that helped them, and then adding the pieces that are playing well. They've just got more scoring options on their team. They really shoot the ball well from three when they play. 5 guys on the court that all can shoot the three. It spreads you out and it poses some problems. But, then you got Mac specifically that can score inside and out, and you got to make some decisions with him. And they got more talent. They got a veteran group, like us. But just the thing that stuck out to me the most was the three-point shooting and how well they share the ball. They've got a very unselfish team. They really move the ball and share the ball.
Justin, go ahead. They grabbed 15, 16 offensive rebounds. What do you think went wrong on the glass?
Yeah, that to me was why we lost the game. It's something that the way our team's constructed, we have to be a good rebounding team in order to win. And we weren't today. That was the one thing I talked about most after the game. And heck, during a lot of the timeouts, we got the information in real time where we're at from a percentage standpoint. And I'm not sure. I can't pinpoint it, but if we give up almost half, on the backboards percentage-wise that way, it's going to be tough for us all year long. I don't think we've had a game all year long where we gave up 47% offensive rebounding, and we thought that would be a strength of ours heading in today, and it wasn't, and that's really all we've talked about since the game got over.
At the end of the first half, when they take the lead, that was when Tolu, Josh, and Mook all had that foul trouble. How much of that stretch, not having all three of those guys on the floor, just changed maybe the outlook of what you guys were doing offensively and sort of shifted the game there?
Yeah, I mean, that happens, right? It's you got to deal with it. Always, hindsight's 20/20, and could have, should have played maybe one of those guys with the two, but we got some guys that are foul prone, et cetera. But, yeah, it certainly added to changing of the momentum. You know, the other thing I talked about is if we could bottle up how we played, you know, the first 15 minutes of the first half, we'd have something going, you know, and it's hard to do that. It's easy to say, and it dissipated, and then in the second half, we just couldn't quite get it going like we did in the first half, and just didn't get it done.
Go to the lady on the end, the coach's line.
So I'm curious to know, after seeing Michi Johnson play those 2 games last year, what are some of the differences you've noticed in his ability to get points and be able to find an open shot that from what you saw last year to this year?
I think the addition of Cooper has really helped Michi. I mean, Michi's obviously a really good player. I love his game. I love how he plays. But, you know, Cooper has really alleviated some responsibilities that Michi has had, you know, when I was here last year. And it's really helped him free up to do what he does best, which is score the basketball. And he's got a combination of things that make him a good offensive player. I mean, he's a bully driver. He's got great three-point percentages, and he shoots it with range, and you can't foul him because he's an excellent free throw shooter. And what I really like the most about him is just his motor. You know, his motor, and he's clearly, you know, their scorer. You know, they got other guys that can make baskets in different ways, but he's clearly, you know, their scorer, and you know, I think he's real comfortable and confident in his role with this year's team.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go front row, middle.
Coach, early in the game, you guys were hitting the low post, and it seemed like that was an emphasis early on. Was that an advantage when scouting this team that you think you guys probably had?
Oh, I don't know if it was necessarily an advantage we thought we had. It's more, again, how our team is constructed. You know, Jimmy Bell and Tolu Smith are hard-to-guard guys, and, you know, they got to make a decision if they're going to attract a double team or not, and we're always curious going into the game if teams are going to do that, and certainly prepare if they do or they don't. You know, they went back and forth. You know, sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. I didn't think we handled it great, you know, throughout the game, but definitely wasn't anything, you know, that stuck out to us. It's kind of how we play.
Back to Justin and then the camera to wrap it up.
Chris, you mentioned stretches where you hope to bottle things up and be more, you know, consistent throughout a game. And I think you mentioned that after Georgia Tech too, where the second half was a lot better than the first half. I guess, how do you push the guys to be more consistent throughout a 40-minute game, especially in SEC play?
Yeah, just, you know, urge, teach, try to figure it out. You know, if I had the answer to that, if I could have fixed it already, I would have. And obviously, I haven't been able to do that. But you know, it's one of those things where you just keep film study and practice and try to replicate the good plays and eradicate the bad plays, and you know, keep moving down the road.
Cameras to wrap us up.
Coach, of course you play everywhere in the SEC, but how would you describe some of the unique elements of playing against the Gamecocks in Columbia, as far as the atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean, it was a road game. They had a nice crowd. You know, I don't think, you know, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't think, you know, it had a lot to do with the outcome of the game. It was decided on the court, and you know, they played better than us and deserved to win.